My dear students, in this lecture I will try to give you some examples of the properties or basic categories of systems. In the section of basics on systems, the property we have we get nearly with classification of 6 basic categories. First of all, the system can be linear or non-linear. It can be time invariant or time varying system. The property is time invariance. The property is linearity in the previous section, but the thing is that we didn't do the maths that how we could really assess some systems that could be a linear or non-linear system, or it would be time variant or time invariant system, this type of things. That is the property of linearity. Whether the system is linear or non-linear, how you could understand. That is the property of time invariance, whether the system is time invariant or time varying system. That is the systems with and without memory. That means the systems with and without memory. That means memory is one of the basic property of it. Memory or memory less system. Fourth condition is causality, and we can divide it by two: causal and non-causal systems. Then is invertibility. We could divide it by two: invertible system and non-invertible system. Last of all, stability. In that section, I have showed you BIBO stability, the bounded input, bounded output. So for this, we also get two type of classifications: stable system or unstable system. So we have just discussed it before, but we didn't do the mathematics or didn't check whether a system that has been given to us, that will be linear or non-linear or time variant or time invariant, just like this. So first of all, we know that is CT system and DT system. That means there is discrete time system and that is continuous system. We always heading towards this system, continuous time systems. We are not really give importance to discrete time system, because it will we will know largely in the next lectures on when you get the course of digital signal processing. You could largely you could have a knowledge, or you could really study both the systems, but especially the digital systems, okay, because that is digital signal. But here we are tending to do the continuous signals and system, so we are not really interested to give the importance to the discrete time system. So our main idea will be confined in the continuous time system or CT system. So let us start about the linear and non-linear systems. So in this particular part, a continuous time systems with the following set of inputs and outputs. As we know, if we convert a continuous signal and get the continuous signal output, that is known as continuous system, continuous time system. Okay, so here are the two input and outputs. That is the input x1, the output is yt. That is an input x2, that output is yt. What is the condition to be it a linear? So it is linear if it satisfies the additive and homogeneity properties described below. It should have to prove these two properties. What are they? First of all, the additive property, x1t plus x2t. So it could be additive property, means the output of x1 is y1, the output of x2 is y2. So both have been added, additive property. What is homogeneity property? Homogeneity means if you multiply with a certain value, that means the coefficient, that also been multiplied in the output side. So if these two properties are equally available in certain kind of system, These kind of systems are known as linear systems. So for an arbitrary value of alpha, all possible combinations of inputs and outputs, if this system satisfies homogeneity property and additive property both, are collectively referred to as the principle of superposition. What is the principle of superposition? As you know, in the basic electrical circuit theory or electrical circuit 1 theory, you are quite familiar with the term of superposition theorem. Do you know what is the superposition theorem? The superposition theorem is a theorem that means if there is a voltage or current source, if there is I am giving just an example, not you will not make this the same system here. That is the voltage or current current source there will be. So there are some resistance here and there. If there are multiple sources, okay, so according to superposition you need to have multiple sources, okay, that may be current source, that may be voltage source. As you know, the current will flow from there for that source number 1. From source number 2, the current will go through to in this side. So the superposition theorem is that if you find out first of all, just off or disconnect or make a short, just like this, just inactive a voltage source and active this voltage source, find out the current I1. Then when you active 2, inactive the number 1 source, then you will find out the current I2. So that is I1 and that is I2. The superposition theorem states that the current will be the combination of both two currents, that may be additive, that may be you can say subtractive, according to the direction of the current. The main theory or the main concept is that a particular resistor, what the particular resistor feels when multiple sources are connected to a network, what will be its total voltage across voltage, and what will be the total current that passes through it, okay, or this is the resistance, you can say the same thing. That is known as superposition theorem. That means the combination of the operations that has been put through to a certain element with the form from the multiple sources. That's the thing. So linear systems satisfy the principle of superposition. So these kind of systems satisfy this superposition principle. Based on the principle of superposition, the properties in these equations, that is additive property, that is homogeneity property, can be combined into a single statement. We can make a single statement out of it. A continuous time system with the following sets of inputs and outputs that can be transformed like this. From x1 you can get y1, from x2 you can get y2. It will be linear if this condition satisfies both the homogeneity and the additivity. Both can be written like this: a alpha x1 t, for this you can, that is the homogeneity, alpha y1 t, plus, that is the additive property here also, plus beta x2 t will reform the beta y2 t, and both are additive property and also the homogeneity property. That is the thing, and both alpha and beta are the arbitrary values. You can put any kind of value according to their understanding or according to the math that suggests for it. So we are heading towards the mathematical problem after that. That is the condition.